You're watching Drakewing Gaming. Enjoy the video. Hey guys, Nary here from Drakewing Gaming. Some of you know me on Twitter, The Gaming Dragon. Today I'm coming back at you another Let's Play episode of Violet Memoir, Oscar's Path. So the last episode, make sure I'm on the right one here because I got to think a couple of ones. Yeah, Oscar actually asked us to trust him, and so we could join him on a dive to try and get to another door. And that was a big turning point because Wallace indeed chose to go with him, and I think that really stuck with Oscar. Now I think they're going to have an even more intimate and special and loving relationship. Let's hope so, at least. If they all manage to get out of this alive, God, I hope so. But anyway, guys, sit back and enjoy for the next 20 minutes and let me entertain you, and let's jump right in. All right, alarm chain, you're up. Okay. All right, so let's see. Please don't be. There you go. There's a little bit in the background. The hallway looks completely devoid of any of the flooding that the previous rooms had. Even the water flowing out from where we came from only reaches a couple feet and before tapering off. It's bizarre and nonsensical. Even Oscar's raising his eyebrow at it, but shrugs it off without comment. After standing in water for so long, it feels almost unnatural to be standing on drying floor again. I'm lucky my pads give me a good grip, or I'd probably slip by now. With all the immediate danger out of the way, I can't help but feel the weight of two wet shirts on my shoulders. I never realized just how heavy wet clothes can be. Here, let me help you with that. You look like you're about to fall over. I'd catch you, but I feel like you'd want to avoid that, right? Yeah, I think... I'm not even able to start my sentence before Oscar's bending down and lifting the bottom of the shirt I'm wearing. Wet fabric smacks against my face, and I let out a spluttering blow of air to push it away, trying to ignore Oscar's chuckling. After half a minute of tussling, he's finally able to pull off his tank top from my head. The sudden release from Oscar's pulling almost makes me fall all over again. I must have looked ridiculous because his chuckling turns into full-blown laughter. Shaking my head to try to get rid of the disorientation I'm feeling, I quickly smoothed down my fur around my head. No wonder he's giggling a storm. It feels like my entire head fur is stuck up. Why am I even caring about this? We're stuck in a hospital almost drowned, but Oscar's got me worrying about how my fur is looking. He's such a bad influence. Oh, come on, man. Don't pout. It's cute. He stops his laughing, and even though he's still grinning like he always is, there's a softness to it that makes my cheeks flush and forces me to look down, pretending to be fixing my shirt. Okay, maybe, but not that bad of an influence. You look cute in my clothes. We'll stick to the dry ones next time. I think that'll be best. Maybe something that doesn't reek of chlorine, but even your dress shirt smells like it, and I doubt you swim in that. I think finding one without that scent is pretty much impossible. I've swam in it once or twice. Why? Hadn't taken a dive all day and didn't want to head home and get changed, so I went into a nearby creek to take a swim. Why didn't you take your shirt off? I tried, but some guy yelled at me to keep it on because his kids were around or something. I'm pretty sure it's just because his wife wouldn't stop looking at me. So you just swam in your dress shirt? Hell yeah, I did. Pretty sure the way it clung to me was worse than if I was shirtless. I think even he couldn't stop looking. Might have awakened something in him. When he catches my shocked expression, he only flashes his pearly white teeth and wiggles his eyebrows. I didn't sleep with him. Not my type. Too much baggage and not enough fun. Now let's head back to your bars, and I'll show you just how much I can flex these bad boys. In either an attempt to be flirtatious or humorous, I don't think there's a difference with Oscar. He tosses the wet tank top over his shoulder, smacking his back with a wet thump against his stone back. Smacking his back with a wet thump against his stone... Okay. I know I'm still riding that adrenaline high from everything that just happened, and this situation is serious, but I can't stop myself from staring. I'm way too messed up right now if I'm checking him out in this kind of place. This place looks a lot nicer. Hopefully we can find the others soon. Yeah, bet you're glad you're not feeling cold anymore. Now time to fulfill my earlier promise and get you out of here. In typical Oscar fashion, his tail thumps me before and forces the two of us into motion down the hallway. And once again, despite these awful circumstances, I can't stop myself from smiling. The two of us around the corner. This area of the hospital has returned to a relative sense of normality. There's no water, and there's only a minor amount of decrepitness. Tricky word. However, we see something that surprises both of us. Oscar's eyes widen and his smile brightens to something fierce, and I know that I'm going to do the same. Down the hallway is a Shiba Inu, Possum, and Fox. It's Lily, Lee, and Lucas. They're looking fine from a distance, though Lucas is down on all fours with the other two crouching next to him. Worrying there might be something wrong, I rush to a couple steps forward before almost slipping. Thankfully, a hand steadies me and stops an embarrassing incident. Hey, careful there! Remember, you're still completely soaked. Right, wait, my phone! Wait, is this the music? Is this that menu music? I don't know. Maybe courageous death. Maybe not. Nah, that might be copyright music. I'm so worried. I rummaged in my pockets with panicked vigor. I can't afford to get this phone fixed, let alone get a new one. Damn it. Why do we have to deal with flooding? I finally find it. Pull it out and press the button, waiting to see nothing happen to the black screen. To my shock and relief, the screen lights up to show the no battery symbol. Not only that, it looks completely fine, like nothing happened at all. Letting out the breath I didn't know I'd been holding in, I put it away. All good? Yeah, I don't think there's anything wrong with it. Lucky you! That causes me to frown because it doesn't just feel lucky, it feels impossibly lucky. It had been submerged underwater for how long, and yet it didn't break? This entire place is confusing, but I don't feel like testing out any strange theories. I'd rather just get out of here as fast as possible. Picking up my pace again, I head towards the others with Oscar only just behind me, his hand on the small of my back in case I slip again. The first one to notice us is Lily, her large ears flicking in our direction only moments before she looks over. There's a sense of cautious alertness, but it immediately dissolves when she sees it's Oscar and I. What happened? Is he all right? Startled, Lee turns around and takes a step back before immediately regaining his composure, a shocked, wide-eyed expression lasting less than a second. He'll be okay. We just dealt with some weird shit, man. You two look like you went through more than just something weird. You could definitely say that. Got stuck in a flooding room. Real messed shit. Oscar got us out of there. He swam us through a flooded hallway. He's kinda amazing at it. Nah, it was nothing, man. What kind of an otter would I be if I couldn't swim well? He gives me a nudge and a wink. There's something else there, though. I swear the inside of his ears are pinker than usual. I wonder if he's embarrassed. Surely not. He must get praise like this all the time, right? Lee gets up and pats Oscar on the shoulder. There's a warm look in his eye that I've never seen him have towards Oscar before. I didn't realize how icy he usually is towards him until now. I knew they didn't get along, but I didn't think it had been that bad. If the wide eyes and lack of a smile on Oscar's face is any indication, he didn't expect the gesture either. Thanks, really. You did good. Bouncing back, Oscar flashes Lee a cheesy smile and puffs his chest out. I feel like he's going to be living on this high for a hot minute. Of course! I promised that I'd get him out, and out he is. I'm not one of the best members of the swim team for no reason. At that, Lee rolls his eyes and walks back towards Lucas, giving an exasperated huff at Oscar's bravado. Now looks like a good time to cut in. So, what happened with Lucas? The fox, who's up to now only been looking towards the floor, taking deep breaths, looks up towards me. The entire fur around his face is matted down like he's been sweating gallons and his pupils are dilated, something fierce. But the one who answers me isn't him. I met him up with Lucas in the rehabilitation area. He was upset and I couldn't calm him down. Wish you were there, Wallace. You're better at calming him down than I am. Lily's voice is quiet, like she's trying to only let him and Oscar hear her, though he's certain that Lucas's large ears pick up on them anyway if his inner ears are flushing as any indication. Probably best not to comment on it and make things more uncomfortable for him. Things got real bad in there. He started to freak out and ran all the way out here. It was really bad, and Lucas is really shaken up. I'm fine. That distinct southern accent that Lucas normally suppresses is coming in through. Ooh, southern. That's right. Lucas has a southern accent. Maybe I should start doing a more southern. Okay. Like a more gentlemanly southern. Okay. It's coming through stronger than ever as he pushes himself back onto his feet. Let's just get out of this fucking place. I'm tired of being in this hellhole. Despite his harsh language, his appearance doesn't contain the same fire. His fur is still frazzled and his hands are shaking. Even his tail and ears are twitching. It must be really getting to him. Things were getting pretty ugly where I was, but nothing serious. Lee steps up, likely to draw attention away from Lucas. He's looking nowhere near as bad, but he's got little specks of dirt in his fur and covering the bottom of his jeans. It's just a scratch. The whole place I was in was barely standing. I fell through one of the boards and got a little dirty. Nothing serious. Sounds pretty serious, man. Like I said, it's just a scratch. Oscar just shrugs and leaves it at that, clearly not wanting to instigate things with Lee further. Does anyone know where the fuck to go now? We just came... Sorry, getting these voices mixed up. We just came from the ER. It was only a floor down. And let's go that way. Better than staying here fucking around. I think so too, man. I don't think so, man. That way isn't safe. Place is flooded, but that's probably the ground floor. Did anyone else see any other stairs? Lucas grumbles something under his breath and rubs his eyes. They're bloodshot, and from the way his fur is matted, he's been crying. Yes, I ran past some earlier. This way, come on. Lucas pounds away, not waiting for any of us to catch up. I don't know what really happened with him, but it's clear this place has really gotten to him. Not that I can blame him. I'm barely hanging on as it is. If Oscar wasn't with me, I don't even want to imagine the results. I'm grateful for his antics. They kept me sane. Sensing it's time to head out, Lee heads off after Lucas and Lily right behind him, leaving Oscar and myself with some distance once again. I told you, everything's gonna be okay. You're right. As always. He lifts his chin and puffs out his chest, looking as stupid and charming as always. It's hard to be annoyed at his flippant attitude. It might have saved my life, or my sanity at least. I should probably put on my shirt before Papa Bear gets angry. I can just imagine him blowing a gasket about indecent behavior. I don't think Lee would ever say that. Nah, probably not, but I still don't think he'd approve. Oscar twists his shirt, squeezing out a large splatter of water. Thankfully, the others don't seem to notice or don't care enough to look back. He puts it back on, and there's a part of me that misses the view already, but this isn't the time. What it does make me wish for than anything else is a towel. This part of the hospital isn't as cold as the freezing water, but being drenched isn't helping much. That is until Oscar loops his right arm with my left and pulls me against him. Stay close! You're shivering up a storm! Don't want you losing a finger to frostbite. They're cute fingers. Thanks. I told you, man. Don't mention it. It's what friends do. That brings a smile to my face, one that Oscar mirrors like he usually does. Despite all the shit today, I feel like I got closer to the otter, even just a little. Lee looks back at the two of us with his eyebrow raised, but he doesn't look disapproving. He locks eyes with Oscar and they share a moment, ending with the possum giving him a final nod as he continues after Lily. We follow after the two of them, and I feel more safe than I have since we've got here. We just got to find this staircase and get out of here. Oh boy. I think we're on the first floor wards. Look, each of the room numbers start with 1. I think that's our floor number. Each of them are locked, though. They've never been locked at the hospital I've been to. To emphasize her point, Lily grabs the nearby door handle to room 128 and pulls, putting her entire weight behind it. Despite the sliding door rattling, it doesn't budge at all. That's a better sign than nothing at all, like the doors on the floor I woke up on. Probably closed it when this place was shut down. No reason to keep them open, you know. That makes logical sense, and there's nothing particularly wrong with it, but something about it feels like we're missing a piece of the puzzle. Everything about this place is so strange, and it feels closer to a funhouse. Through the small window in the door, I can barely make out the dark room. There's a few objects of note, but only one catches my eye. A picture of a small boy on the beach with the words, "Tomorrow could always be a brighter day." It's a general motivational poster, but it brings a sinking feeling to my stomach. I'm not entirely sure why, but there's something about that poster that feels like it's causing bile at the back of my throat. Guys, look! There's an exit sign over there! That's gotta lead to a way out! It's a welcome interruption from Oscar, pointing ahead towards a distant faint green sign hanging from the roof in the distance. It should be lit up, but the bulb that's kept it lit has likely blown over time. The rest of our group looks excited, and that distracts them enough to not see how sickly my complexion has become. It'll pass soon enough. It always does. This is good music. Our group follows the otter, who's trying to contain himself from running off ahead. It looks like even he understands that this isn't the time to be messing around. Even when he's excited to do something fun, he wasn't this antsy. This place is getting to everyone. There's only so much you can stare at peeling paint and decrepit walls before it starts to dig into your brain. I notice a small window, and through it I can see the dark sky above. It's just as hard to see through as before, maybe even worse with all the light, making it appear more like a black screen. Wait, if everyone's here and been around the hospital, then who did I see outside? Maybe Oscar's right, and it was just something that looked like a person. Their color was off, now that I think about it. It makes sense that there's no one here. Who would be standing in the dark outside of a hospital, just staring towards it like it's some sort of a serial killer? Just saying it makes me sound like I'm crazy. But I swear I saw someone outside, staring right at me. I don't have any proof, and even just remembering things about it makes it seem less real, but there's a nagging feeling that someone was definitely watching. Just thinking about that distant figure sends a chill up my spine, and I suddenly feel invisible eyes on me again. There's no one staring at me, but that doesn't make the feeling go away. I'm only a couple of feet behind Oscar, who is trailing behind the group, but that feels like enough of a gap to remove all safety in the situation. Not wanting to be here any longer, I walk a little faster to catch up to the rest, but thankfully I don't have to go all the way before the otter stops and turns around. Everything okay, man? You're falling a bit behind there. Need me to carry you? I'm fine. This place is just getting to me. I just want to get out of here. Yeah, I gotcha. Don't sweat about it too much. Nothing's gonna go wrong. If someone did kidnap us, which I doubt, they'd have heard of us already, right? Yeah, I guess. I feel like Oscar's ignoring the obvious issue of how we actually got here then, but I think that he's just trying to keep things optimistic for me. Well then, if you're gonna be like that, then it looks like we're going to have to do this the hard way. The hard what? I'm cut off by Oscar grabbing me around the torso and hoisting me up over his shoulder like I was some kidnapped princess. I've never been this high off the ground. I can easily touch the roof if I lift my hand up. Thankfully, his shirt is only damp now, so I'm safe from a big wet slap in the face. It doesn't do any favors to my fur, but that's not drying it anytime soon. You think you can get through me? I'm bigger than most guys you'll meet. I think anyone can get through me. Okay, that's what he said. Despite the awkward situation, and especially Lee's concerned stare, there's no stopping the smile that creeps across my face. He's doing a good job keeping the mood light, even if he should probably take this more seriously. Feeling better? Yeah, I am, thanks. Hi, that's what I like to hear. He places me on the ground as gently as he can, but that still causes a little bit of a rumble up my legs. Over the shoulders were not meant for a graceful landing, but nothing seems to be hurt. Don't sweat all the small stuff. Ain't nothing gonna go wrong. Maybe you're right, but shouldn't we take this a little more seriously? Nah, I don't really think about stuff like that. But that's what worries me more than anything else right now. This isn't the first time he's done this either. The memory of the locker room incident with his coach is still fresh in my mind. Does he put everything all like this off? Come on, let's catch up with the others. I think being out here alone isn't helping. I think Lily's found something. Following his eyes, something's just caught Lily's attention and she stopped in place, staring at what looks like a door. The others are looking back at her in confusion. Alright. Oscar and I quickly join them. Lily's looking over a door and like it's the most interesting thing in the world. Lucas is just a couple feet away, leaning against a wall, deep in thought with Lee standing next to him. He's probably keeping him company. This place definitely wouldn't be doing someone like him any favors. I gotta thank him later. What are you looking at? There's something up with this door. What do you mean? Look around. Almost every door is at least a little dirty. The place is abandoned after all, but this door is spotless, like someone has been cleaning it. That is rather weird. Maybe it's the door out. Now that she mentions it, it doesn't just look clean, it looks immaculate. I've never seen a door look as spotless as this one, even in a real hospital. What's up with the flowers? Oscar gestures to what looks like a little container attached to the door, just under the number plaque. It resembles a vase, but one that's been welded to the door itself. Sitting inside them are some beautiful flowers, light blue with yellow cores that give them a serene look. There's something I can see someone planting in a little garden outside their home. They're forget-me-nots. Flower expert, are we? They're my mother's favorites. She grew them in our garden and I'd bring them to her whenever she was sick. Ooh, I don't like that coincidence. She says that with a little more melancholy in her voice. Whatever's up with these plants, they definitely brought up some bad memories. It's likely a memorial. Lee's voice almost causes me to jump, but it looks like he's decided to join in the conversation. Lucas not too far behind him. Who cares if it's a memorial? Let's just get out of here. Maybe there's something in here. I really want to look inside. There's something to the way Lily's saying this that doesn't make it sound like simple curiosity. She sounds confused, more so than a simple, well-kept door should make someone. It couldn't hurt, right? I'll just take a moment. Yeah, okay, just a peek. I really want to protest, but there's something to the way she's staring at the plaque on the door, listing the room number as 149, that makes her look mournful for something that might be hidden on the other side of that door. And besides her, there's also something eating away at the back of my brain, like little voices whispering thoughts directly into my head. It feels like going inside this room is the correct thing to do. Oh, Biggie boy, are you getting sick over there? It's okay, I'll come over there and love on you after I'm done recording. Everyone else looks like they're thinking the same thing. Even Lee and Lucas, who look like they want to leave the door alone, doesn't seem to be protesting anymore. It's like we collectively agreed this is the right thing to do. As she touches the handle, it feels like a spike of anxiety goes through my spine and up into my brain. It takes all my willpower to not take a step back or hide behind someone. It's like I can feel electricity tingling in my fingertips. Despite everything, though, I feel more at peace than I felt since we arrived in this place, and maybe even a little before in the library. Something about being with everyone else makes everything feel more manageable. I wonder if the others feel like that, too. Then, without any more hesitation, she yanks down the handle and shoves the door inside, but I'm not able to see inside as my vision is filled with only white, like a supernova is happening in front of my eyes. Oh. Oh. Oh shit, are we back? Huh. My eyes open with a surprising amount of struggle, and I can feel a searing headache burning inside my skull. It makes my entire head feel heavy with exhaustion. Everything comes back into focus, and we're back in the library, sitting at the same table as we were just before whatever that was happened. What? Did I have another nightmare again? When did I fall asleep? Is it because I read the diary again? Most of our group is also sitting around the table, looking just as spaced out as I do. The only outlier is Lucas, who's back to sitting at the computer, trying to adjust his cheek fur from what looks like hours pressed against keys. It's like everyone's waking up from a nap, not just me. There's no way that's a coincidence. It can't be. Did all of that really happen? Ah! Perfect timing. I was actually about to run out of time. Before we got another one, let me save it right here. Alright, guys, we have reached the current end of Oscar's path. I'm going to be picking up where Lucas was. Let's see. If you want to support us, Patreon, absolutely, go support these guys. They'll focus on Oscar next month. We'll start the phaser focus on Lucas's route until he's finished. Okay. You'll be getting updates as we go as well. I don't want to leave everyone hanging. Okay, alright. There's also a Lee CG added to this route, to his route, so go check it. Yeah, I can't wait to see that. Don't forget to follow us on Twitter. Yep, we have Discord, Memoir. Hey, you guys are awesome. We're so grateful to have made it this far and all that positive feedback I've gotten. Alright, guys, go play this game. It's amazing. Anyway, thank you all so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and ring that notification bell until the next video. I love you all. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye!